Hey, welcome back to another drill with Coach Perry. Another beautiful day out here in Massachusetts, but we're gonna get into another skill and drill video for you. Probably a video that I should have started my channel with in the first place, but giving it to you now. And that's going to be a basic static and dynamic stretch. All right, you always wanna make sure that you're really taking care of your body, getting yourself nice and warmed up to go, no matter what athletic activity you're getting into. Taking care of your body, keeping your tools sharp, is always going to be something that you always want to do. A good stretch and warm-up routine is always going to be something that's part of that. So let's get into that. We're going to teach you one of those right now. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to go through the full warm-up and stretch so you know exactly where you're getting into and how long it'll actually take. All right, so the first stretch we're going to get into is just a basic touch your toes. Two feet together, touch your toes, go down. We're going to stretch the hamstrings here. Get a good hamstring stretch. You want to at least hold it for a good 10 seconds. Then you want to come up and get a rest. Make sure you get a rest in between each rep, okay? We're going to make sure we're going to go down again and get another stretch here. Same exact stretch. 2 feet together, going down, touching the toes. You can put your head down if you'd like. Get a little bit more of a stretch. All right, but we're gonna get a good hamstring stretch right there, all right? You wanna do those at least twice with a 10-second count. Okay, next stretch we're gonna move on to is going to be the quads, all right? So we're gonna get into a quad stretch. We're gonna do both legs, all right? We're gonna do both legs, same thing, 10-second count on each leg. Then we're gonna switch. Once again, this is always something you want to do. It's a cold day out here in Massachusetts, so I'm really going to take my time and get a real good stretch. Make sure that I'm ready to go. I'm going to switch back. We're in the quad stretch right now. This is quads. The main engine, especially for most athletes, especially for sprinters, your quads, your hamstrings, you really want to take care of those. You really want to warm those up good. All right? We're getting in, like I said, this is a basic static and dynamic stretch. Right now, we're doing the static part. Static meaning that we're not moving around too much. We're in place. More of your old school original stretches that mostly everybody knows, okay? The dynamic stuff is gonna come a little bit later where we're gonna actually get into a little bit more movement, something that your body is used to when we're actually playing a sport or doing an athletic activity, okay? But the next stretch that we're gonna get into for static, all right, because we're only still in the static part here, is spread. Side to side spread, all right? You wanna make sure that you're really getting a good stretch here. This is gonna stretch your hamstrings, your quads, a little bit of your groin as well. Same thing here, you wanna get a good 10-second count. You wanna try not to bounce, okay? You wanna try to get a good hold. Sometimes I'll get a little bit of a bounce, but you won't want to get a major one, okay? And then we're also going to go down the middle here. We're going to go down the middle, all right? So side to side and middle, and we're going to come back. Making sure you're really getting nice and warmed up, stretching, taking care of your body, trying to get every single muscle warmed up, ready to go for any activity that you're going to be doing. Got my cones out here for a reference to make sure that I'm not going to get out of your eyesight with any stretch or warm up that we do. So make sure you're just keeping pace with me here. If you like what you're seeing, make sure you give a subscribe here to the channel. Follow, there's going to be much more to come here. All right, we're going to go down the middle, make sure we're getting this good stretch. All right, perfect. Oh, that's great. After that, now, we're gonna sit down, actually. We're gonna sit down, and we're gonna get a good spread here. Sit down and get a good spread. We're gonna go right and left, same leg. All right, and then we're gonna switch here. Switch to the other leg. Make sure you get a nice 10-second count. Get a good hold in there, and then we're gonna go down the middle as well. Go back to the right. Go back to the left. Get a real good stretch in here. Like I said, you want to start this off for all your workouts, all your routines. I do this with all my clients, all my athletes. Make sure we get a good warm up. Down in the middle now. All right, now we're gonna switch. We're gonna switch to the next one. We're gonna go groin. Bring your 2 feet together. Try to squeeze them up here. Get a good groin stretch. If you can try to squeeze with your elbows, push your knees down just a little bit. You only want to feel it get tight. You don't want to push too much. Then you want to take a little break here in between. Do the same thing again. Bring your 2 feet together. Get a good groin stretch here. All right, next one we're gonna move on to, all right? We're gonna cross over here. We're gonna cross over. Bring your leg over here. Try to pull it up to your chest, all right? This is gonna get hamstrings and also your gluteus maximus, which is a great muscle. We make sure we need to stretch that as well. Let's stretch everything. Let's get nice and warmed up. Pull your right over and make sure you get a good 10 count. Then we're gonna switch, do the same thing with the other leg. Pull that leg up. Get a good 10 count. We're gonna get nice and warmed up here. The sun's gonna come out right now, warm us up a little bit as well, which is great. Make sure we're gonna switch back. Really getting a good stretch on those hamstrings and on those glutes. We're gonna switch again. All right, we've got 3 more static stretches before we get into the dynamic and start moving around a little bit more. All right, so the next static stretch we're gonna do is calves. I want you to actually go down, create a little bridge. Take your foot and put it over the back, and then kind of go down here. Try to get a good calf stretch. Then you can switch legs, do the exact same thing. Switch back. Getting a good calf stretch here. All right. Next thing we want to do as part of static is we want to get a little bit of stretch of our arms. In a lot of my videos, you're going to hear me talk about aggressive hands, aggressive arms, especially when we're talking about sprinting or fast movements. So we really want to stretch those arms because we're actually going to use them. All right, so the first stretch we want to do is the handcuff stretch. Handcuff stretch, you want to try to get that good hold for 10 seconds. All right, like I said, aggressive arms, aggressive hands, fast arms, fast hands. Our arms and legs, you know, they can only move as fast as our hands and arms will let them. So they got to work together. We want to make sure we're warming those up as well. All right, so that's arms again. Handcuffs again. Warming our arms up. Like I said, warming up every part of our body so we can get ready to go here. All right, now we're going to do arm crossover. Making sure we're getting these arms ready for aggressive, fast movements. Hard, aggressive, fast movements. Really getting out. Getting ourselves in a dry phase, really pushing hard. We're going to need our arms to do that, so let's get those warmed up as well. All right, so that's the final part of static, all right? So that's your static stretch, okay? That's your, like I said, you're not moving around much. You're kind of doing it all in one place. A lot of them are the original stretches that most people know, okay? Now we're gonna get into the dynamic stretch, the part where you're actually gonna move around a lot more like you would in the athletic activity that you're getting ready to warm up for, okay? So we're gonna really get into that. Like I said, I've got my cones here to make sure that I do not move out of your eyesight, but we're gonna get into it with the first dynamic stretch, which is gonna be knee to chest, okay? So we're gonna come over here. You wanna go knee to chest, you wanna pull your knee up to your chest, go up on your opposite toe. Do that exact same thing. Going across here, knee to chest, pulling up. Then we're going to do the same thing going back here. Knee to chest, to chest. Knee to chest. Again, up on that opposite toe. Really stretching hamstrings, quads again here. All right. So that was knee to chest. From there, we're going to go into heel to butt. Heel to butt, and we're going to reach for the sky too. We're going to reach for the sky, heel to butt, reach for the sky, go up on the opposite toe. Heel to butt, reach for the sky, going up on that opposite toe. Getting quads and calves here, quads and calves. Nice cold day here, so we're making sure we're getting really warmed up. I'm out here grinding for you guys. Make sure you're grinding at home. Get nice and warmed up here before we get into our workout. Same thing going back. Heel to butt, reaching for the sky. Going up on the opposite toe. Heel to butt. Heel to butt. Going up. All right, so that was heel to butt. Next one we're going to get into is going to be straight leg walk. All right, so we're going to take our arm and reach across to our opposite leg with a straight leg movement, just like that. All right, reaching across, reaching across. This is straight leg walk. Really getting nice and warmed up here. Same thing going back. Straight leg walk. Reaching across, opposite arm to opposite toe. Perfect. All right, from there, we're gonna get into bounding, okay? Bounding, otherwise known as long strides. We're gonna bound through. Just try to lengthen your stride a little bit. I know I can't do that much here, especially in this camera angle, but we're just gonna try to strengthen it out, lengthen it out as much as we can, bound it out. All right? From there, all right, that was bounding. From there, we're gonna go into a karaoke. All right, this is gonna be a low knee karaoke. There's low and high knee karaoke. For this stretch, we're gonna do the low knee. We're gonna do a low knee karaoke, okay? Low knee. Moving those hips, moving those feet, moving those hips, moving those feet, all right? Same thing coming back, all right? Moving those hips, moving those feet. Whew, haven't done the karaoke in a while, a little rusty there with that, all right? So this is, like I said, this is the dynamic part, all right? So you really want to move around, okay? Really want to get yourself as warmed up as you can for whatever activity you're going to be able to do, okay? Or whatever activity you're doing. All right. So next one from there, we're going to do some lunges, okay? We're going to do some lunges. We're going to lunge out, come back and collect yourself. Lunge out, come back and collect yourself. All right? These are lunges. Same thing going back. All right, we're going to do the same thing going back. Lunges. Get nice and warmed up here. One last more. Yeah, one last one there. All right, so that was lunges. The next one we're going to do, all right? Final one, final one's going to be a sprint burst. All right, but one of the final ones is going to be a power skip. All right, most people know skipping like that. That's a normal skip, no problem. Our power skip is we're really going to drive our arm, drive our knee, and try to get some height on that. All right, it's going to look like this. Boom. Driving your arm, driving your knee, power skip. All right, power skipping, driving some explosion, some power, really warming up our calves and hamstrings right there. All right, and then the final one, you're pretty much all warmed up, ready to go now, is going to be a sprint and a burst, okay? Just a little sprint and burst. Standing start. All right, don't have much room here. Standing start. Just a little burst, all right? All right, so that's it. That's it, you're ready to go. You're warmed up, all right? That's a basic static and dynamic stretch with Coach Perry.